Well, we arrive in my country. Now we look at Romania. Let's see how people are doing here. And first of all, it's a bit with numbers. Around 18 million people living here, which is kind of a lie. I can tell you that right now. We are most likely around 14, 15 million people left here in the country. There are the other 4 million. They are pretty much living outside the country. So yeah, not exactly accurate, but that's what I know for sure at least. Now, let's see how they living, how we living actually here. And as always, we're gonna go randomly on the map. Now, I know this map very well, so let's start with the main city. Again, randomly on the map, but it's kind of cheating a bit here. But like I say, I already know how things are here. This is the national theater, I think. Looking pretty good here on the small alleys. Let's say. Things are not so bad. As you can see, those nice architectural buildings, they're not exactly in the great shape on the inside, but on the outside it's a bit worse. As you can see, they have graffiti here. I mean, the person that have those buildings, they don't want to invest that much money to make them look again how they originally did. This is the most important square here. They have some sort of a revolution here. As you can see, even have a monument. You can have some picture of the internet in this square here. I mean, again, this is pretty basic stuff. We have a lake here that is pretty good. This is the rich area, as we call it here in the north part of the city. As you can see, nice alleys. The car's not so great, but this is a very expensive area. We have like some sort of a Turkish embassy here or whatever, or maybe a consulate, who knows. But those are the most expensive lands you can buy it here, and this is how it looks. Not so bad, I have to say. I don't go here that much or that often. For whatever reason, it's not on my taste, but I understand that when I go there, it's pretty good compared with where I live. But even here, they got improved so much. So yeah, I mean, look at those buildings we saw in Cyprus. Very nice one, low, high ones. Here they build those monstrosity that it's absolutely revolting in my opinion. But somehow they they still allow them to build like that. They have the authorization from the mayor. Yeah, it's again, it's corruption. It's everything you think of. It's happening here. I mean, look how bad it looks compared with what we saw. Not saying Iceland that we saw, but Cyprus was much better, let's say. Comparison between those two is just nothing. We have also some bad areas here in the south. Now I'm not sure exactly which one. I'm not gonna go specifically on one. I don't remember either, but probably around this part here things are not that so well, especially here in the more, let's say, housing area. It's a bit better, but as you can see here in the apartment buildings area, not so great. I mean, clearly East European looking buildings. They install some of those trash cans, the new ones, which it seems to do a better job than the old ones, because now it seems at least that they have a bit more clean alleys, but back in the day it was absolutely horrifying in these parts. I'm not sure exactly if I can show you exactly which one it was, but there were quite a lot. So again, I kind of pick them up now because I know the area. But again, it's not exactly fair. But yeah, they improved this one too. But yeah, the good part is in the north, the bad one it's in the south. They have the airport here. They have here the rich ones again. I don't know exactly how they got approved, to be honest, to build that close to the airport. It's kind of insane, and the noise here, it's absolutely horrendous, especially now they opening to the international flights. Or at least next year they're gonna open it, so yeah. But again, the bad taste of a Romanian house is always gonna be there. I mean, this one has like a billion shapes. Those fences, absolutely horrible. Small streets, as you can see, barely can fit a car there. We always have bad taste of building houses, always. It's something that probably we're never gonna fix, even with the next generation. But you can see we have a lot of street views, so in that department we're doing pretty well. You not say that's a rich area, but that's pretty much a rich area, but it doesn't look like that. Okay, now let's go in another side. Let's go in the mountains. Here is where we excel, I would say, the most and the best mountains in this region of the Europe, I would say. We're not gonna compare with the Alps, but look at the difference between what we saw in the city and now how nice it is here. Again, 10 times better than anything else. It looks great. I mean, it's mountains, it's Carpathian. It's something that, look at this. It's actually worth seeing. I do not recommend any cities south or east in Romania, but in the west, yeah, we have a few one that looks pretty good. But again, even though city, if you are like say in a city break or whatever, it probably is gonna be much better going Prague or Vienna, something like that, just than here. Like it's kind of a waste of mine. But in the mountains, it's not. In the mountains, it's something that actually absolutely great to see. And you can see they have even a lake here, a glacier lake. I'm gonna check that. Looks great. It's just absolutely nice. Look at this. You can go there. You can take a bath if you can take the temperature. And they say you cannot go there, but kind of highly doubt that. Why you cannot go there? Look how nice it is. Supposed to go there immediately. Just, it's absolutely great. What else can we find? I see, that's what I hate, those rules, like you're not supposed to go there. Why not supposed to go there? It looks great. It looks perfect for going there to take a bath. And again, with those safety, like I say, with the Nordic countries, you got here too, with the drunk on safety. It's insane. They just, the most nice and the most human things that you actually want to go, they are not allow it for some reason, because they think, oh, it's not safe, or you're not supposed to do, or bullshit like that. It takes the life out of life, if you want what I mean. But yeah, anything else, it's just, I mean, it's great. Look at this. Okay, what else can we see? We see another town that's also pretty historical one. Let's check this one. A lot of people go here to check them. Again, not in a great shape, but you know, it is what it is. It is, let's say, the best that we can offer. I think I parked my car at some point exactly here when I go here. Yeah, exactly in this spot. Probably right now they just take your car if you do that. So again, with this nonsense that you cannot do pretty much anything those days without getting in trouble, because rules and regulation, again, they kill the humanity out of us. Yeah, here it's supposed to be used to be part of the Hungarian empire. You can see the architecture, it's very nice, very good. The alleys, the streets looks good. I mean, again, we see those cameras, like what I say, drunk on safety. Put cameras everywhere. There's no privacy whatsoever. They have some bars on the windows. Probably this is one of those government buildings, I'm not sure. It's a school here actually, so yeah, it makes sense to have bars there. They jump on the windows to skip classes, I guess. But yeah, it looks nice, and architecture phase looks pretty good. The poor side of the country, it's right here, I would say. Let's see if we can spot them. Again, randomly on the map. I just know the region. I don't know exactly where they are. This is the poor side, which is looking pretty good, I would say. I expect it to be much worse, but they have pretty big, again, the bad taste in architecture. I'm always gonna say that. They have paved streets, which is pretty good. I guess they improve even here. Otherwise, yeah, but you can see the housing not exactly great. Still a lot of work to do, and with those new construction that they have, same problem with bad taste, as always said. They have, I don't think they have, look at this, not every single street is paved, but most of them, even here in the bad areas, they are. Again, bad taste of the house. Like, that's gonna stay probably by the end of the century with the next generations, with how they're supposed to build in a nicer way. Yeah, overall, not so great. Not so great, I would say. Look at this. They have some, this is from 2024, and this is from the election that we have. Everyone tries to put a lot of money in those elections when they have it, and they try to, let's say, lie better to get the better seat, I guess. But it is what it is. I guess that's available for every country, not just here. Yeah, the poor side, like I say, it's around this area here. Not something too brag about, but it is what it is. What else can we see? We have a lot of nice places, especially like I say, mountains is the best place to see here in this part of the Europe. It does look absolutely great. Wherever you go, I mean, okay, it's another lake. Probably again they're gonna say you cannot go there to swim, which is kind of stupid. That's like, I think even in the Nordic country, like that's a crime. How can I supposed to go there to swim? That's like exactly what it's made for. But okay, I don't think they're gonna obey by those rules. But you know, they put that sign there probably because they don't want to get in trouble if somebody running there, whatever. But yeah, look at this. It looks great. I mean, it's worth it. Trust me. If you go there for the mountains, you're not gonna get disappointed no matter what. It's mountains, the best we have. What else can we see here? Oh, another big city right here. Look at this. Looking from the above. Again, one of those part of the Hungarian Empire, Austro-Hungarian Empire at some point. I'm not sure if it was that far away in the Roman Empire, but that was way, way back. This is some sort of a car collection. Look at this car collection festival or whatever. Pretty good. The architecture of the look at the architecture is pretty nice. I mean, those cities better to see it. I mean, like, you have to go there with a plane. You have an airport. It's better to land in one of those than the main one in Bucharest. It's not worth it that much. Trust me. Those one are much better. Looking pretty decent again. The problem with the bad taste of the housing. And look at the land, however, they have small lands. Not as we saw in Iceland, for example. That was much better. Even in Cyprus was better. So see, like what I say, like I say in African countries, you have to start with a good land. If you have a good land, you can have many generations living in that land in a nice way. The house can be rebuilt. The house can have a brand new one. But the land, it's very hard to acquire once. I mean, look at this. That's pretty much an apartment building here. It's not exactly a house when you have a common wall with your neighbor. But they pretty recently, I have to say, they pretty much all the streets, at least the main one, they are freshly paved. So they improve a lot in that, and they have like water pipes and reliable electricity and all that stuff. So they improve a lot. I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna be in the next 25 years, but I assuming if they're going on this trend, they're gonna improve by a lot. This housing again, my opinion, just bad taste. It's not what we saw in Iceland, for example. They like to have those second floor houses, 2-floor houses, which for me, I hate it. I mean, look at this. It doesn't look that great. And the yards, again, are not that big. Problem with the land, like I say, they start with the small land. You're always going to have a problem. Here, probably they didn't pave that yet, but at some point, I'm sure they're going to do it. Yeah, in the city, the western cities in the country are much better to visit. It looks much nicer, and we have another one here with a decent airport, not as big as we saw in Bucharest, but yeah, bad areas and good areas everywhere. But east of the country is the poor one. South of the country, they have a capital and a lot of people, and it seems to be more rich, but it's not that pleasing aesthetic, I would say. And the western one, center and western one looks better. Pretty much anything that was in the Austrian Hungarian Empire and later the Hungarian Empire looks better. It's just the way it is. I mean, you don't have to believe me. Just go there and convince yourself, or just go on the street views and you're gonna see. It's way better. The country, yeah, it's pretty big, as you can see. It's not that small, so it's a lot of things. You can see. Let's go in a small towns here. Let's see how they doing. They have an opening a lot of Danube. The most, I think, a third of the Danube River. It's in Romania. So that's gonna be a pretty good economic, but they don't use it that well, unfortunately for them. See, they already paved the street, as you can saw. Back then it wasn't, and now it was paved. So they're doing really progress with those pavements and water pipes and sewage. They do, and reliable electricity, internet, and TV cable. They're doing rapid progress in that. The slow one, it's in the hospital, education, and corruption, pretty much. I mean, again, bad taste. What I said. It's just They should have like a capital of the bad taste of the house, and you should see the interiors. That's even worse, for God's sake. I'm not sure exactly how they manage, but we do that. We do that. Yeah, here this is from 2023, so pretty recently. Usually this is how the house look in this part, in the countryside like that, the old ones. And then they go outside in Europe and they work and they make some money and they build those new bad taste ones. Like I said, very rarely we're gonna find a nice one. But yeah, here it is what it is, I guess. Let's check the other area. This is the south part when it's supposed to be the richest one. It's like the Bucharest is the richest area, but yeah, in the mountains and in the countryside usually is better. Countryside in the mountains, otherwise not so appealing as you might think. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to recommend someone to live here. If it's not like I say in a mountain area. In a mountain area, it's easy. You just go there, you're gonna like it instantly. Here, when the Danube go in the Black Sea, not a big fan to be honest, but especially now with the Russian war that they have there in Ukraine. Sometimes you're gonna have a drone on your house, sometimes it doesn't. Again, not a place that you like to invest and see. Here on the beach, it's pretty good. Unfortunately, I think we checked make that video in the Black Sea, the entire coastline, so you can check that if you want to see in more detail. But yeah, I was on those beaches. It's pretty nice, but the water is not that great, but it's fine. If you want to go there, let's say once every 5 years to see the sea, it's fine. Otherwise, again, you'll be probably better off in other countries. Here, like I say, on the Danube, let's check this one. Half of the Danube it's in the Romanian side, the other half it's on the Bulgarian side. We kind of share that. Typically, we can see this Balkans, typically Eastern European. They go here on the beach on the Danube. If you are in that stuff, you can say that you go to the sea. Actually, it could be even better than the Black Sea, to be honest. Here, it just probably even the water is cleaner. I'm not sure, but it looks like that. No, I never go there to actually take a swim or anything like that, but it seems to be pretty nice to me. Now I realize it. Maybe I should go at some point. I mean, it looks nice. They have some sort of those sandy islands. I'm trying to find one that has a 360. I mean, they'll go on the Bulgarian side. It's pretty much the same water. See, it's pretty nice. It's not like we're gonna see in Germany, but they have those nice sandbanks. You can treat them as a beach, and it looks nice. It does probably is better than the Black Sea, so you'll be better off living in the mountains here than they just go down the Danube. It's gonna be a much better view. Let's check those mountains. Look how high they are. Everything that is high here, it looks nice. Like I say, mountains is the main thing here. Everything else you can skip it, but the mountains you don't, because that's exactly where you go in the Carpathians. It looks great. Again, I can spend hours and hours on those 360 and street views videos. You can check them. We have a lake here, I think. Yeah, let's check this one. You can stay here for a lot more. See, that's pretty nice too. They have the snow. This is July, by the way, and they still can find. You can pretty much find snow year round in those high elevation mountains. So yeah, you're not gonna ski there, but you can touch it. Let's say you can feel the cold of the snow pretty much in every time. Look at this time of the year. How nice it is. See, like I said, mountains. You cannot go wrong with them here. So okay, let's go with the numbers. Maybe you can go back then after we check the numbers. Like I say, 18 million people, they count every single one of them. But we know like 4 million there, 4 or 5 million they are outside the country, living there, working in the Western countries. So yeah, theoretically, realistically, in the country that we saw, there are left around 15 million people. So yeah. But look at this, back in 1955 in a communist era, they have around 17 million people with 1.2% increase rate. Yearly change was around 215,000 people, and migration was minus 41,000 people. Median age back then 26 years old, with fertility rate of 3, which is pretty good. Density 76 people per square kilometer, which is a lot. Urban population 30%, and that would be roughly around 5.3 million people to manage. So yeah, that's a huge task. But again, it was a communist country, so a bit different with that numbers, I would say, comparing with African countries. Fast forward to 2025, now there are around 18.9 million people in a country, but like I said, realistically are more around 14, 15 million. Minus 0.5% increase. We got on the decrease rate exactly after the revolution, after we end the communist era. People start to go outside immediately. Yearly change, like I said, minus 0.56%. That'll be roughly around 100,000 people on minus every year. Migration is minus 30,000. We used to have much worse when they got in European Union, but now they kind of slowed down with that. Median age 43 years old. Fertility rate, yeah, below replacement 1.7, and they got below replacement way back in 1990s. Again, after communist era ended, population collapsed immediately. Density, well, like now like 82 people per square kilometers. Urban area 55% with 10 million people to manage. Yeah, I can confirm that they don't do a good job with managing 10 million people in urban area. But look at this, fast forward to 2050, they say population is gonna go around 16 million people, and they're still counting for those outside the country. Probably, again, they are, from those outside the country, a lot of them, they die. The kids that they have, they're already born in those countries, so they're not exactly Romanian citizens. They are Italians, Spanish, Germans, whatever. So yeah, probably by 2050, I assume that we're gonna be overall under 14 million people, and realistically remain in the country probably under 10 million people, I would say. Yearly change in 2050, they say is gonna be minus 0.72%. Yearly change around minus 120,000 people. Migration minus 21,000. So you can see migration kind of slows down, but also I can say we have an influx of Asian workers here. And I think they have like 100,000 permits for them to work in one single year, I think. So yeah, those numbers not exactly tell you the full story. Median age around 46,000. Oh, 46 years old. So yeah, population is going old, but not that fast as I might assume. Fertility rate 1.6, 1.7, which is pretty high, I would say. I'm not sure exactly if these are accurate numbers, but yeah, from what I can see in the streets, they see a lot of people with small kids, so it could be accurate, I would say. Density 70 people per square kilometers. Urban population almost 70%, again with 10 million, almost 11 million people to manage. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Life expectancy here, it's extremely high. I can confirm that. 76 years old for both sexes. Females almost 80 and males 72. Those are the huge numbers. Infant mortality rate and deaths under the age of 5 and 6.1. Those are pretty decent number, but for the countries that say they are more than 10 years, almost 20 years in European Union, and you should have like a more advanced one. Good numbers would be under 5 for both of them. They're going down, so at least they have that, but it could be much better. But we will see with time. Wow, demographics. Pyramid is pretty much all over the place. As you can see, the base is not very solid. It's getting narrow and narrow. We have a male surplus population by the age of 24, 26, and then we're gonna go in a female surplus population, especially after the age of 60. Huge amount of female surplus in population. It doesn't look good. We know that for a while now. So, but again, we are not panicking. For some reason, the economics still growing much faster than it used to be. So just because we have a declining population and getting older, doesn't mean it's over. Economic, let's check the economic. It's a very rich country. I can confirm that, but it's kind of a paradox because we are still poor for whatever reason, which is corruption, pretty much. So watch this. And they calculate by 18 million people, by the way, which, like I say, they're not the real number. GDP is 422 billion US dollars in 2025, and PPP around 1 trillion US dollars. So you can see a rich country as we are, but we don't see it. Growing rate 4.8, 2.2, and 2.8. Those are low numbers for such a big economy. But yeah, we have a lot of problems right now. GDP per capita 22,000 nominal, which is kind of low, I would say, but those numbers are gonna go up tremendously, I would say, in the next 10 years because the population is going down, and at the same time the economy is still going up somehow. So yeah, and PPP around 48, almost 50,000 US dollars. So again, pretty good purchasing power, I would say. But something has to change. Things are not going that well. GDP by sector, in agriculture, it's 4.4%, industry 28%, and services 56%. Yeah, services a bit low, I would say. And industry, not exactly a huge amount of profits there, I would say, but they do a decent amount of stuff here. Inflation 5.3 in 2025. On the TV, they say it's much more than that. It's like 10%. But I kind of highly doubt that why they say on TV, because they kind of show some prices. They say from butter, they say it's almost double than I bought them from the Lidl. So yeah, I don't think even the TV give us the real information, because I can compare the price that they calculated and they're not exactly the real. In the real life, they're a bit lower than that, especially if you make your grocery shops. If you go your weekly grocery in the Lidl, as I do, things are not that expensive as they say on the TV, but still they got up in price as any other country in Europe at least. Unemployment rate, they say 5.3%. I struggled to find a job in the last almost 6-7 months, and maybe even higher than that if I calculate before the project that I have. So probably like I'm looking for a job in more than 2 years, and yeah, it's not good. We pay a lot of taxes here. Average gross salary, they say it's around 1,800 euros. And average net salary, it's around 1,000. So you can see almost half. I can confirm that we have like 45% taxes here on the what you make immediately. So if you make like, I don't know, 1,000 euros, you're going to go home with around 550 euros, which is kind of insane. And we don't have that great system. The medical system is not that great. It's there, but not great. The pension system, I don't think is gonna last, at least not when I go to pension for sure. And again, the taxes are really high here, and you don't see that much benefits. It is what it is, I guess. So yeah, we have a really good export partnership with Germany, and we export a lot and import a lot for them, as you can see. Mostly, like I said, European country, Germany, Italy, Hungary, France. We're doing very well. With Poland the same. So not huge problem there. Corruption, well, corruption is a different thing. Look at this. It's pretty bad, but let's check the numbers. Let's see how they're doing for Romania. Romania, 46 points and down 2 points. Yeah, I can confirm both of those. They are huge. I mean, even the West, they say when you interview people, they have like housing crisis, the biggest problem, or migration. Trust me, it's not. The biggest problem even you have there, it's corruption. If you didn't have that much corruption, all of those things could be fixed. And this is available for even for blue countries here. There's no such a thing as crisis, in my opinion. It's just, they're just political crises, man-made. They could be get fixed very easy, very fast, but for some reasons, there are people that don't want that to happen, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. So again, I don't believe in housing crisis. I think it's man-made. It could be easily fixable, but they don't. It's much simpler like that. So yeah, you can see it's a more perceived as more corrupt country with that that low points, which is kind of a sad. I hope it's gonna be at least in the other half in the perceived as less corrupt. But 46 points, we are in the more corrupt category, which is kind of sad. What else can we find here? Like I say, yeah, we have the old maps that we used to have. They have unifications back then. They have, look at this, the communist era, which wasn't that great, to be honest. The building that we have from that era, it's absolutely horrible. The economic system was horrible. I mean, you already know my opinion about socialism. The highway infrastructure wasn't that great in the same time, to be honest. Yeah, the military, God knows what's happened there. We have some documentary here that they say at some point they didn't have soap to the bathroom, so I don't know what to believe, how, in what shape it is right now. But I can say one thing: in the mountains, it's absolutely great. On the sea, maybe it's worth, like I say, going once every 5 years, but that's it. And yeah, by the way, we built the biggest church in Eastern Europe, Orthodox Church. So if you want to visit that, you can. It's open. This is the architecture from the Bucharest. Like I said, look at the mountains. Look at this. That's a view. That's what you want to see when you open your windows. That's the greatest one, not traffic and cars and all that bullshit. So yeah, things are not so bad to be honest, but it could be 10 times better, very easily made, but it's not gonna happen. We know that. It's sad. It is what it is. But comparing with what countries we saw so far in Africa and Asia, I am much more, I have to say, much more optimistic about the future and how we live here. It is pretty good comparing with others. It is pretty good. See, that's the communist era right here. Look at these horrible buildings. It's just, I mean, the new ones is not that different either, to be honest. In some case, it could be even worse. They make those apartments now even smaller than the communists did it back then, which sucks. But again, Romanian already have a bad taste of construction. And it's gonna be something that the next generation is gonna inherit. So yeah, good luck with that, I guess. If you don't build your own house in Alliance land in the mountains, as I want to do, you cannot call it like I have a nice house here or a nice neighborhood or stuff like that. It's just kind of doesn't exist. I like those doors, how nice they are. I don't even, we are in Hunedoara. Okay, we are here in Hunedoara was, back in a day in the Roman Empire, they have in a Dacia Empire, if you want to call it civilization, they have here the capital. So it's a very old, let's say, human settlement. Now, as you can see, not that much left of it. A lot of city towns in those areas used to be like mining and all that heavy industry. And when they got in the European Union, they forced them to shut them down, and a lot of people got without jobs, and that's why they move outside to work in other countries like, say, Germany, France, Spain, Italy. Those are almost communist building as well, so you can see not great architecture. And I know this guy was trying to do here, isolate his balcony, but it's just waste of material in my opinion, but fine. At least they have a lot of parking spaces. That's the only good thing I can say about them. We have a police car here. See, I don't think it's a police office here, but could be. Nah, I don't think it is. Again, bad taste of building stuff. Like I say, it's all over the place. I mean, look at this one. Come on. It's just the way it is. Yeah, otherwise, it was like I say, in this region, most of the time was like Austro-Hungarian Empire and Hungarian Empire. So you can see even with the culture of the people, it's different than you're gonna see in the capital in Bucharest, for example. It's a different way. But like I said, it's nice in the mountains. It's 10 times better to live. Unfortunately, the economic there is not that developed to push the population out from the main cities to the countryside. Right now, the trend is exactly the opposite. They push it from the countryside to the main cities, and the main cities got so crowded. And take my case, so hard to find a job now. It's had so much competition. You're not gonna find it, just pretty much. Or you're gonna find one, it's gonna be the lowest wage. I mean, like the minimum wage here, you can go home, is like 550 euros, the minimum wage. And it's not gonna do much with that money. Not mentioning if you have to pay rent or stuff like that, not even close. Again, another example of bad taste of building housing. Yeah. So you, like I always say, in a countryside, especially in the mountains here, you can have a much quiet life, but you're gonna be much poorer. So the only thing you can do, you can go to work outside the country in the Western countries. Otherwise, the only things that you have is the main cities, and even that doesn't seem to do that well. Here it's a pretty nice place to do some hiking, I have to say. Here we have that huge known, this is the tunnel. There are a tunnel between the mountains, in case you don't know. This is the highway, not exactly a highway. The the road that I think at some point even Top Gear came here to film. That is actually a national pride, I would say, but it's a really nice road here, as you can see. Look at this. Very nice. I don't think we have a picture you can see it from above. But, I mean, look for a 360 for that. And I'm not sure if they make one here. Let me check. Probably this one. Let's see it. But I don't think we can see it from this angle. Ah, you can see it a bit. See, that's the road. It's looking pretty nice. I was there. It looked nice. It's definitely worth checking out. Now, if you go here, it's pretty much the only road we can actually cross the Carpathians from this place. So you have to take it. So you're not gonna miss that one. But it's nice we have those, like I said, that tunnel. You just go to the mountains. It's nice. It's great. I mean, look at this. It's definitely, like I said, living in a mountain area, you're not gonna regret it. It's a nice place. Anything else, not so great. Here they have a lot of bears on this road, so don't feed them, by the way. Every year, especially in the road, actually pretty good here too. Usually they're not that great, but here is pretty good. Every year, especially in the cities, close to the mountains, like this one. I think this one is Brasov. Every poor schmuck, usually a tourist, every year get eaten by a bear because they're going outside in the night and they say, I'm going for a walk or some bullshit like that. I'm going for a run or whatever in the night. And usually the local says you might have to fight a bear if you go that late. And they usually think, I don't know, maybe think there's a joke or something like that. I don't know. But every year, one of those poor schmuck tourists getting eaten by a bear. So yeah, in case you want to do those things here, just preparing the list to fight a bear is not becoming food for one of those. You might think it's not real. I'm not sure exactly in the Western country. I think they kill all the bears there to, I don't know, put their settlements or whatever. But if you are in those regions, I think, I'm not sure exactly from this one, that close to the mountain at least, and that's a decent taste house. At least we have one. For example, here. And you just say, I'm gonna walk on the home. I'm gonna, I don't know, travel by bicycle. You have a good chance getting eaten by a bear, I would say. Especially at night. It's just the way it is. Like I said, look at this. So very small streets here. So if you're a tourist here, they just don't go in the forest at least. Even if you see that it's so close to the house, there's nothing bad can happen. Trust me, it will. So don't go on the night traveling that close to forests and hoping that you're not gonna get eaten by a bear. You will. I mean, look at this house. They didn't finish it. It looks horrible. This is from 2022. Who knows? Maybe they finished it by now, but I highly doubt that. Small streets. Yeah, it's not what we saw. I mean, look at this. Those bears usually walk down on this alley, those bears, and go for the trash can to find food, searching for that. So, yeah. Yeah, pretty bad architecture, pretty bad taste here, I would say. Those wasn't developed for cars or for 2025, to be honest. But also there are some bad planning and some, like I say, bad taste of the housing here. So yeah, you have to pay the price, I guess, with that. It is what it is. But otherwise, it could be pretty nice place to live, but not on my taste, I would say, here. And then, like I say, especially if you have to look for the bears every time you go out, especially if you go to throw the trash in the night. Not exactly a safe experience, let's call it like that in this case. So yeah, if you go in those cities, look out for the bears. Otherwise, it looks pretty nice. Expensive as fuck, as always. Like I said, mountains, absolutely top. Everything else, you can skip it, in my opinion. It's not worth it. So yeah, that was the video. Check the others that I make, and see you next time.